Hi everyone and welcome to our adult open evening. Well, the first of our 3 adult open evenings. We're talking all things adult education, and right now we're focusing on distance and community learning. And though I am no expert, luckily we are joined by expert Rebecca. Hi Rebecca, how are you doing?
Hi Ashton, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Do you want to sort of tell us what your role is at the college?
Yeah, so I manage distance learning and community learning at Leicester College, which is, like you say, part of the adult provision. Do you want me to talk a bit about each of them?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Parts that we do. Okay, so first I'll go through distance learning because they are quite different. So if I break them into two, it'll be a bit easier. So distance learning is exactly what it says in the tin, really. It's learning from afar. And our slogan of the distance learning team is that you don't need to go far to get far. And that fits pretty well with the current situation we all find ourselves in at the minute. So we have around 20 level 2 qualifications, which you can enrol onto without the need to travel to college or attend any online classes or physical classes if we're in normal time. Everything's done from home. The courses are funded, so that's more good news for adults, and they offer a really flexible way to gain a qualification. So you might choose to do a course because you're interested in that topic. You might have a relative that has autism and you want to know a bit more about it. Or you might be on a health kick, which I think a few of us are going to be going on as we come on out of lockdown, trying to get ourselves holiday or beach ready. So you might do health and nutrition with us. Or you could be looking at a new career path or a step up the ladder. So you might look at team leading and where that can take you in employability and in the job that you're in. The distance learning courses are available online, or we have paper-based materials available too, and they're for free. So if you'd rather have a textbook, we can post you out all the paper-based materials for the course. So the style of learning is really flexible too. Enrolment is online and all year round. So this means you can start the course when you are ready to start the course. You don't need to wait for a class to be running that fits around your work or your life commitments. And we enrol every single day of the year. Support is available from our tutor team and our learner support team. So it is distance learning. You don't come into the college. You'll probably never meet your tutor. You might never even speak to them, but you'll have lots of communication via email and text and the feedback that you receive from us. So some of the courses that we cover, like I say, they're all level 2s or funded. So we've got health and nutrition, mental health awareness, children and young people's mental health. We have digital skills, which is a brand new course, and like I said, team leading. But on top of that, there's about 20 different ones as well, from the childcare sector, adult health and social care, and business as well. So the other offer that I look after in adult learning is the community learning provision. And these are our hobby courses, if you like. When I say hobby, I've got to say that several of our students actually run successful cake decorating, dressmaking, and beauty businesses. And they attend these sessions to keep up to date with techniques and further develop and stretch their own skills and network as well, really. Meet like-minded people who are interested in what your skill and what your interests are. So there's kind of 2 approaches, really. You can learn a skill if it's something you've never done before or something you've done a bit of and you want to develop your skills. Or you might come to community learning because you want to meet more people, really. So traditionally, community learning have been group sessions delivered in the college at various times, different locations around the city. But as with everyone else, we've had to adapt to life in lockdown, and we're really pleased that we've been able to continue to offer classes in exercise, skincare, makeup, well-being. Indian head massage starts tomorrow online, sugarcraft and flower arranging, all online. And by doing this, we've realised that actually there is a demand for this type of learning. So we can do community online and people do want it. So we'll certainly maintain some of our online offer after lockdown as well. And then after Easter, we'll be having our face-to-face classes back as well. And we can't wait to do that. Other subjects other than the ones I've talked about in community are soft upholstery, soft furnishings, embroidery and garment making. So quite a few things there to choose from in distance learning and in the community learning. Did you have any extra questions, Ashton, that you wanted to ask about that?
Fantastic. I mean, that was great to go through both the differences there, because I mean, I've done a distance learning course myself. I did one at the beginning of lockdown, and it was great. I was doing it I had lots of time on my hands, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
I was doing it outside of my work, and it was really good to sort of have that something I can just dip into every now and then. But if, say, someone wants to do a distance learning course, but they're not sure if they'll be able to just focus on it, can people sort of start and stop distance learning courses as they go, or does that have to all sort of be done in a time frame?
Well, we set a time frame, so you'll enrol and we give you submissions. So say you did a team leading course with us, made up of 3 workbooks if you did the paper-based route, and we'd give you 3 weeks for each workbook. But if you've had to take on extra shifts at work, or you've got a relative that's not very well, or you're poorly yourself, or you've got a great holiday planned, you can contact us and we can extend those submission dates for you. Sometimes personal circumstances mean that you need a complete break in learning, so you might take 3 months off and then come back to it. The majority of the courses can be completed between 6 to 15 weeks, but we totally understand and appreciate that unexpected things happen in life and you might need to take a break, or you might need a bit longer. You might sail through the first unit, but then need 6 weeks to do the second unit. As long as you keep in touch with the team, we can help you through that. That's fine.
So it's all about sort of communication, just letting your team know.
Yeah. As long as we need to know you're still learning, you're still on the course and still keen. If you just disappear, then we get a bit concerned. But as long as you keep in touch with us saying what's going on, then that's fine. We will adapt to suit your needs. That's, the beauty of distance learning, really.
So the next sort of question I have for you, we've talked about distance learning being at home, and community learning is slightly different. But what's the difference between how these 2 sessions are taught?
Well, distance learning is almost very much independent learning. So you don't attend classes at all. And for community learning, traditionally, you would come into the college, you would use our facilities, and it would be a face-to-face class. There'd be a group of maybe 12 of you all learning something, or if you're doing upholstery, perhaps all the 12 of you might be working on a different individual project, like a footstool, someone doing curtains, someone doing cushion coverings, and the tutor would go around like a workshop style. For distance learning, it's you really. So you've picked your course, you have all your materials at home. So if it's online, you've received the online learning login and you'll watch the videos, do the reading, answer the questions. Or if it's a paper-based course that you've chosen, you've got your textbook, traditionally you fill in your answers and send them back to us. You don't have to attend a set class. There's no set schedule there. You're learning at your own pace at home. Where community, you're in that group environment. And some people thrive in that group environment. They want to learn in a big group, where other people, it's a bit daunting. Perhaps you've not been to school or college or done any learning for a while. You're desperate to get back into it, but you don't want to walk into that classroom for the first time and have that dreaded feeling of, oh my goodness, is the tutor going to ask me a question, shrinking in the background. You're at home studying, learning in that safe environment. But you've always got tutor support on hand if you need it, by email, telephone, text.
Fantastic. So obviously these courses are offered to adults, but is there an age limit on who can do the courses?
You have to be over 19. For distance learning, there's a slight quirk in the funding rule where if you're 19 to 23, in that age bracket, you need to have a full level 2 to be eligible for the funding. Well, not everyone's that sure what a full level 2 is. We're kind of looking at 4 GCSEs, a BTEC, and NVQ. But if you contact the team, we can discuss that with you and go through it with you. And we can find out as well what qualifications you already have. If you're over 23 for distance learning, it doesn't matter if you have no qualifications or you're a doctor. You can enrol on this course, no problem. And for community learning, it's 19 plus. You can be 19, you could be 99.
You broke up a little bit there at the beginning. Do you ever speak to the age, like from the minimum age you have to?
Oh, that was a real complicated bit to explain as well. That would be the bit you drop out at. Yeah. So for distance learning, this is for funding purposes. So if you're aged 19 to 23, you need to have a full level 2 qualification to be eligible for the funding from the government. So a full level 2 would be 4 GCSEs or a BTEC or a couple of A levels. It can be a bit confusing. So if you are in that age bracket and want to do a distance learning course, if you just contact the team, we can talk you through that and make sure that you are eligible for the funding for it. And then for community, it's just 19 plus.
Perfect.
It doesn't matter.
Cool, perfect, thank you. So in terms of the actual qualification that people get after they finish the course, are they official qualifications? Do they sort of look well on a CV?
Oh, brilliant on your CV. Yeah, for distance learning, there are official qualifications from TQ UK awarding body and from NCFE awarding body as well. So they're recognised qualifications. They go on your CV and they last forever. Community learning, like I said, they're hobby courses. So that's learning for the sake of learning because you want to know something. Mm-hmm. So they're not linked to a qualification. But because of that, we can be really flexible on what we deliver. So the courses tend to be 9 weeks long. We'll get the students in, we'll have a chat to them. What do they know? What do they want to know? And then the tutor can really tailor that course around the direction the group of learners want it to go in, especially upholstery and garment making. You know, you can have 12 people in a room, somebody's making a waistcoat. We've had people make wedding gowns before during the sessions, you know, a whole, you know, array of things that you can do because we're not tied to that qualification. So sometimes it's better that it's a bit freer, but with distance learning, yeah, they are all official qualifications.
Fantastic. So obviously we offer quite a lot of different kinds of course in terms of distance learning, community learning. If there's a course that someone really wants to do, but we don't necessarily offer it, whether it's a hobby course or a distance learning course, is there a way they can come to you and sort of tell you they'd like to do it, or if they're wanting to run a course, can they do that as well?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, before lockdowns, and what we're looking at a year ago now, aren't we? We had a local community centre come to us, and they said they wanted, their ladies there wanted a bit on food hygiene, but they didn't want the qualification, but they did want to know a bit about food hygiene and basic health and safety. So we could go and meet with them and put that course on specifically for that centre. And then we had started talking with lots of community groups, but then lockdown happened. So yeah, so if you've got a group of people and you want a subject covering, and you want it in your venue as well, we can come to you. That's not a problem at all. With distance learning as well, sometimes we'll get an employer say, you know, I really need to put my staff through this qualification. Do you have anything? And we'd go out and source it for them, and we can put that qualification on specifically for them. And we did that a couple of years ago when the GDPR came out. A big care organisation came to us asking, did we have anything? And we went out and sourced the data protection qualification, which we delivered to all their staff for them.
Fantastic. Now we've talked a little bit about funding for the distance learning courses, but do the people have to pay for the community learning courses as well?
Community, so if you are on a particular benefit or a low income, then we can waiver your fees for you. If you don't qualify for a fee waiver, the course cost is £95 for the 9 weeks, and that's 22 hours of learning. So it's still really reasonable. I think it works out at £250 a session, something like that, maybe a bit more now. So yes, so there's some cost involved for community, but again, get in touch with the team. We can go through what your circumstances are and then work out what your payment will be.
Fantastic. So if someone wants to do one of the community learning courses, obviously with distance learning, you can sort of pick it up whenever you want to, just start sort of tomorrow if you fancied it.
Yeah.
But with community learning, obviously they come in sort of 9-week blocks. So if someone has missed the start of a course, what can they do?
They are best to wait until the next one starts, really, and then we'll get them going on that one. I mean, if we have space and they've just missed the first session, then, you know, for sure we'll try and get them in that group. It just depends on how many are already in there and how many sessions they've missed, and they can't join halfway through. But perhaps if they've missed 1, maybe 2, then we can sneak them in.
And how often is it that there'll be another block coming up? Is it sort of like once that one finishes, the next one starts, or?
Yeah, so every 9 weeks a new one starts, yeah.
Fantastic. So we've talked a little bit about it already, but how can doing a distance learning or community course benefit someone's job potential?
Well, distance learning, you're gaining qualification. So it goes on your CV and it shows that you're proactive in your own continual professional development. Doing a distance learning course also shows someone that you're highly organised and you're motivated and you can study independently. So they're all good skills to have, and a distance learning qualification would prove to an employer that you have them. We have a lot of people, we do a qualification called Preparing to Work in Adult Health and Social Care. So a lot of people who are looking to switch into that sector will come and do that qualification with us. So then when they go to the employer, they might not have the experience, but the fact they've gone out on off their own back and done this qualification, which is quite a big one, shows that they're willing to learn and how committed they are to making that change into that sector. Again, the team leading course, that's really good. So we have, again, if I talk about the care sector, you might have a support worker who's looking to make the step up to the team leader role. They perhaps haven't got the experience. It's always tough, isn't it, to get that promotion if you haven't got the experience. But at least if you've got that qualification, that gives you a bit of a step up in front of the other candidates. Community learning is different. You don't get a qualification, but you get experience, skills, knowledge, networking. And an awful lot of people who come into it, perhaps the cake, sugar craft, for example, cake decorating, they might come because they want to make a relative a birthday cake or a Christmas cake or a wedding cake. They find they're good at it, they've got a passion from it, and then from that they go on and start their own business of doing cakes.
Amazing.
So both can lead to, you know, employment opportunities or self-employed opportunities and promotions.
Yeah, definitely. So we're sort of coming on to the last question now, but if you are watching at home and do have any questions, do feel free to pop them in the comments and we'll answer those as well. So this is sort of I think maybe a little bit biased of a question that I'm going to ask you. But what would you say that we could offer as Leicester College to adult students that possibly others could not?
Okay, yeah, it will be a biased answer, won't it? We have, for community learning, we have some of the most amazing tutors. And they all work in the industry still. Amtalar Sugarcraft tutor, she regularly has her work published in the craft magazines. Hazra, our flower arranging tutor, she does the most amazing arrangements. And whenever we have like any kind of celebration in the department, she's the first person we go to get the flowers sorted out. So they're a great team. We also have amazing facilities. We've just ordered 6 brand new sewing machines for our embroidery class, so they'll be there ready for our learners when they return after Easter. Overlockers, the upholstery room's amazing. We have special cutting tables and all the equipment. So definitely the facilities, the equipment and the tutors and the support team behind them as well, both for distance learning and community learning. They are so, I think any of our students would tell you just how helpful they are and supportive they are to make sure our students have the best possible learning journey that they can have. For distance learning, we have a real big offer of courses. So, 25 plus courses. We'll be developing our level 3 offer in April as well. So that's even more choices and options for our students. And the tutor team there, 80% of them still work in the sector. So all their knowledge is current and relevant and up to date. So yeah, quite a few things I would say.
Yeah, definitely. So if someone's listening to this and does really want to apply for one of the courses or have a look on the website to see if something for them, how do they go about applying for one of the courses?
It's all online. So they go onto our college website. You can either go on the community learning link or the distance learning link. So say if you click on distance learning, all our list of courses will come up. There's a bit of a synopsis on what they cover, and then you can just click the apply now button, and then your application will come straight through to the distance learning team. That you'll then receive a text and an email so you can go on and complete the second part of the enrolment process. But yeah, it's all pretty quick really. If you're not sure you want to apply, you want more information, you can call or email the team. And that's the same for community learning as well. Everything's on the website. Click apply now, get your application in, or like I say, contact the team if you want a bit more information about what's covered in the sessions or in the courses.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. I mean, now is as good a time as any to do a distance learning course. Things we're all still stuck.
It's the perfect time. Yeah.
Exactly. And so if you do have, again, any questions, like Rebecca said, head over to the website and contact the distance learning team or the community learning team, or even apply now if that's what you want to do. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up, Rebecca?
Just the careers team as well, actually. They're a great port of call to contact those if you're looking for a career change. They'll talk to you what the different options are, and if distance learning is the best starting place for you, they'll then signpost you over to us anyway. So yeah, the website or the careers team are great places. Yeah, the links there, well done, very good.
Thank you. But yeah, that's all from us. We'll be back a little bit later on with some more sessions. We'll talk about adult GCSEs and finance options a little bit later on. I'm not sure what the next session is. Don't quiz me on it. I can't remember. But there'll be another session happening in just a couple of minutes. So if you are hanging around looking for more adult learning courses, do stick around. But for now, thank you so much for joining me, Rebecca, and thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Have a great evening.